Hello and welcome back to Daily Weekly Builds. Now, in a recent video, you would have seen me build and review the LEGO City Car Wash set, which was a pretty fun set actually. But I was thinking, what if I put two of them together to make a bigger one and see what I can come up with? So, of course, I do have another official set over here. Here's the first box. So if I combine the two sets, I should be able to do something pretty interesting. Now, I'm thinking to just build it exactly as intended, put it back to back, and then obviously change up some bits in the middle to connect it all and change out some of the action features and things. But it won't be too different because I like what they're doing here. I think it's a great start. It just needs a little something extra. So first things first, I need to build up the other set. So what I'm thinking is just to have it back to back like that. But then obviously we've got the double ramps, the fans, both the play features. That's gonna go. So I think if I take off this one here and then this one from the back, and then I can use these Technic pins from the bricks to connect to this one. So you can see I've got to fill in the side walls, which shouldn't take too many parts. I think I'm going to use more window pieces like this and just continue the striping of the color scheme just to blend it all together. And then really this is all you're going to get, because I wanted to keep it small, simple and easy to do. So if you wanted to do this, all you really need is two of the sets and then just a handful of extra parts. I didn't want to go completely custom and modular and, you know, make it 50 feet long or full 32 by 32 base plate, because it doesn't need to be like that. I like that it's small and compact. So yeah, I just need to dig out a few more parts and we can put it together. Okay, so I've gathered even more parts, which are just off to the side of the screen here. So we've got some light grey plate, some medium azure plate, dark blue bricks, you know, trying to keep it consistent with the colour scheme that we've got going here. But we need to create the floor for the base to connect the two halves. And I also need to take off these, because I don't need that anymore. Oh. That can just come off too. Right. And then we need to connect all the floors together. So first things first, with a 1x4 light grey plate, go in there. I mean, I guess it didn't need to be light grey because it's going to get covered up in a minute anyway, but, you know, keep it consistent, I guess. And where's the other one? Over here. So that can go there. And then instead of having the little ramps on the other side, since we're continuing it on, so we need to add some more dark bluish grey tiles. And I didn't grab enough of these. I need to grab a few more in a moment. Right, now time for the floor. So, since we need it to be 2 plates thickness high, and then let's see if I did my math right. Is this going to work? Yes. Oh, that's perfect. So that's going to be the connecting floor in between, so we can attach that. So as you can see, it's the same thickness and it's supported on the underside. And yes, now I need to dig out 4 more dark bluish grey tiles so I can connect both bits of floor together. So it'll be one straight run. And the whole idea of this is just to make it look as if this was the official set. So I think it's coming along all right so far. So there we go, all the floor is connected. And now we just fill in the side gaps. Now ideally, to make it stronger, we should have a 2x8 dark blue brick, but I don't have any of those. I've only got 1x4, which, you know, it's going to be fine, I guess. It keeps that color consistent, but and then we add some of the, oh, look at that, you can kind of see, oh, it looks like it's slightly different shades of blue, but that happens with a lot of Lego colors, quality control and age of parts and all. So I've got more of these windows. And I noticed that even the window glass, one of them is slightly like different shades of blue as well here. So here's what it is. So that can slide in there. And the same on the other side. Next part is the roof. And for medium azure, I've only got the 2x4, which is fine because this is too wide anyway. But this is where it can get a little bit loose because obviously at the moment this isn't really connected to anything. But it keeps that striping consistent. And I didn't have any modified tiles in dark blue. Well, I had one actually. I needed 4. But I do have these ones, which I figured they might work as well. So let's pop those in. Ta-da, that's what it looks like so far. Pretty accurate, I think. Right, let's connect the roof parts now, then we can see what else I need to adjust. So obviously I've taken off the fans from this roof, but they do have the holes here, and if I could put it together, it should be a gap of 4, which is what we need. I need to line this up. So ta-da, there we go, all lined up perfectly, and they can still spin and everything. And both of these tipper trays, they don't get in the way of each other, but I guess the idea is, well, I guess it could be double-sided, but you start through the car wash, obviously, you have your wash, then you get dried, so you're not really going to get more soap tips on you at the end, are you? But I might just leave it in there for now, just for simplicity's sake. But if we hook everything on, oh, I've noticed, are they going to get in the way? No, it's close. But, yes, because when you want to turn it, see, ideally I would need 1x4 dark blue and medium azure here, because the 2x just gets in the way of the fan. Like, it stays flat, but you can't spin it really, because then it wants to knock it off. And also you have to remember that it's not connected here at the moment, so we need to get some white plate just to continue that white stripe, and then more medium azure just to connect it at the top. But yeah, ideally I need 1x. But for now, you can see what we're working with, and it looks like the whole thing is as if it's meant to be this way. The colours just blend in. It's how it is. It's, you know, mirror accurate. It's the same on both sides. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. It's simple, gets the job done, exactly what I wanted. But yeah, I just need to get the right parts to sort this out. So I'm not too bothered by it not being able to move, but I need to at least connect it so this isn't too flimsy. Okay, so it's been about 3 days now, and I did place a Bricklink order to get some parts to kind of finish this properly. So let's pick up where we left off. So inside this box here is just a bunch of parts for some colour swaps and things, and the rest of the parts, including some parts to swap out some colours for the cars, which I will show you after I finish the car wash. Right, so last time, as you can see, I only had the 2x plate, and I needed some more in the white and the dark blue. Didn't have it. Now I do, in the right sizes and the right colours. So let's finish off and get these all attached properly. So I've taken out the window panels for now, and here laid out are all the parts that I've got. Probably a bit too many, but it's good to have options so you can try different things, see what works best. And I've also got some of the black grille pieces, so I can put them down in the gaps, so then it'll be just like how the other windows have the little grills in front of them. You can just about see it in there. So it will be similar to that. So let's do that first. So that's the grills installed. And I've also got another one of these drain pieces to continue the drains going along. So we got some at the front, now I can put one in the middle. There we go, so that continues that same design. But another thing I need to do is also remove this little feature here, because it wouldn't make sense to have 2 of these. Obviously, cars coming in this way, so that's where all the soap's going to come down, and it's going to get dried off, and then a final little brush. So it wouldn't make sense for another soap dispenser to be over here. So I'm going to remove that. But now that now I have this empty space here, so I'm thinking, although it might not be the most realistic thing, a good way to fill the space would be to use the other fans over here, and using the same piece from this, I can put this in here. So maybe it can just make sure the car gets extra dried before it leaves, and let's fill the gap with the 2x4 brick. Whack on a black tile, just to keep that colour scheme consistent. And then the other fan. So sure, there might be a lot of fans, but maybe they're doing other stuff or something. But I figured it was just a good way to fill that space, so there wasn't a big empty gap on the front. I know there's still a big gap here and here, but I like the kind of concept of it being, the roof being open like that. But I just thought I'd use these and fill the gaps there. So now the roof is consistent, and yeah, and it's pretty much done. Just need to place the windows back. So to do that, we need to grab the window, add on this 1x4 plate in medium azure, and then one in dark blue, one in white, and another in the medium azure. Pop that on there. So the windows will only be connected at the bottom, but I'm not too worried about it, because, you know, it's there. It's not really going to get moved much. So just when I was about to call it a day and everything was all complete, I decided to change my mind completely and go into a different direction. So I decided not to have the 4 fans. I thought, yeah, maybe that's not quite right. So I took them out from the middle and popped them in at the back here, which I think makes much more sense. You know, you're coming through the last thing you do is get your little dried off. The roof still comes apart in sections, and I did have a bit of awkward space to fill, so I had to use these Technic bricks with the pins sticking out, but I didn't have anything to go on them because I obviously didn't want to use the fans again. So I just put these little printed 1x1 tiles with the like kind of measurement gauge levels on there. Maybe that's for some maintenance or something to do with the fans. I don't think this is an illegal technique, but you know, it works. It feels comfortable, so that's what I wanted to do, because I didn't want to leave the Technic pins just kind of out like that. So I figured, you know, maybe the gauges could be on there for some mechanical reason. I increased the size of the little soap dispenser, so it's all, you know, it's a double size one now. And instead of tipping forward down this gap, it tips forward down here. So you come in, get the brush, then the soap. And I figured that works, you know, still works just as fine. And it gives this middle space more of a purpose. And then, of course, I left the brushes on the end, and there is enough room for them, instead of flipping inwards, obviously the car will be coming out this way, so they can still have enough clearance to go up, and the car can brush out like that. So, there we go. I have now finished it, and I am happy with how it's turned out. Similar to the original set, of course, because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to keep it as original as possible. But I think with just a few extra pieces and using 2 sets, you can come up with something really nice. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. But now let's turn our attention to the car, because as I said, I didn't like the green colour scheme. The yellow was fine. Or if it was all green, that would be fine. But mixing these colours just didn't work for me. So, just like they say on a rather famous old British TV show, here's one I made earlier, combining some of my own parts, some Bricklink parts, and of course the original car, and I turned it into a taxi as I suggested. So I've changed out the wheels, although I don't quite like how the wheels look a bit small for the whole thing now with these fender pieces here, but you know, I'll leave it for now. It can still fit 2 minifigures inside. I just added more yellow parts, added the black stripe detailing and the cheese wedge on top, just to signal that it is a taxi. Of course, you can still fit 2 minifigures in there. Yeah. Changed out the headlights as well. I thought these ones looked a bit better. It does kind of look a bit like an off-road taxi maybe, but you know, it's still in keeping with the original design. And again, just a few extra parts, you can change it into something which I think looks much better. So now I'm going to do the same with this one, so I'll have 2 of these. So these are all the parts I took out from the original car to build the taxi, and these are all the parts I used to replace these parts. So I swapped out obviously some colours and the wheels and things, but not too much really. Unwanted parts removed, new parts put in, and it is done. And I forgot, I only included these extra 4 1x4 plates if I didn't want it to be a taxi, if I just wanted it to be like an all yellow car, or if I just wanted the taxi to not have a black stripe. So that's what those plates are for, just to replace that black stripe there. But I think it helps. It's similar to what Lego City have done before. So yeah, happy with that. And now I've got all these other parts, which I can use to make other things in the future. And just like that, the taxis and the car wash improvements are complete, and I'm very happy with how they've turned out using just limited extra parts. Because, you know, I could have gone full custom and rebuilt everything with 100 different parts, but that wasn't the aim of this project, and I'm happy with how it's turned out, in keeping with the original design and the same features. Yeah, you know, things still work, things still look good. I kept these 2 things the same, I just kind of mirrored them. But yeah, otherwise, everything is looking good, and I'm very happy with it. Let me know what you guys think. Do you like what I've done? Tell me in the comments. I'll see you all in the next video. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye for now. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to check out the other videos on this channel, or on one of my other channels as well. And of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends.